Good evening, everyone, and welcome to A Matter of Life. This is Donate Life Connecticut's 12th annual Toast to Life event. I'm Sarah Cody from News 8, and I am not alone.
I'm Kent Pierce from News 8, and a toast to you, Sarah, during this A Toast to Life. We usually have this event in some place that has libations like this, so I thought I'd bring a touch of normalcy to this year's event because we can't be together in person, unfortunately. We've got to do this in the virtual world, but we're not really going to miss it all that much. Yes, we're going to miss seeing people face to face, but the event we've got planned for tonight might just actually be better than a normal year's event because being in the virtual space like this, we get to bring together people that we wouldn't normally be able to get all in the same place, even in a non-pandemic year. So what we have done tonight for this event is we have gotten together 8 amazing songwriters, and each one is going to debut a piece of music, a song that they have created just for this occasion. It's going to be fantastic. These are very, very talented musicians debuting all of this tonight, and it's all inspired by organ donation.
Now, Kent, we want to encourage everyone as you're watching. We want you to express your comments and cheers using that chat function. Tell us what you think about all the songs. Tell us what you think about Kent Pierce's reporting. Tell us whatever you want. But we just want to hear from you. We want you to be part of this very unique, exciting program.
And tell us how beautiful Sarah Cody's living room is, too.
That's right. I got the jack-o'-lantern going. We're festive here, but we are excited to introduce you to our opening song. This is so exciting. It has generously been sponsored by Donate Life Connecticut. They're good friends and supporters at Yale New Haven Hospital. Now, for our first performer, we are pleased to have a songwriter from Boston, Massachusetts, my hometown, who has opened for artists ranging from George Carlin to Aretha Franklin. So amazing, right, Kent?
Absolutely, yes. Looking forward to it and looking forward to many more as this hour or so goes on.
So please welcome Vance Gilbert.
Yeah, that's my scar. What's behind it wasn't mine before. The stitches, I don't mind them when they hitches. They remind me what's behind them. I'm here tomorrow, I tell myself every yesterday. I'm here tomorrow, I tell myself every yesterday. Time, I got extra, lots or little, doesn't matter. I have time. Ticking clocks don't make a difference. They just tell the time. I'm here tomorrow, I tell myself every yesterday. I'm here tomorrow, I tell myself every yesterday.
Good evening. My name is Robert Roth. I'm a kidney transplant recipient and board member of Donate Life Connecticut. I'm joined tonight by my kidney donor, Stu Zeitlin, my friend of 47 years, We met as college freshmen at Stony Brook University. I come from a family history of polycystic kidney disease, or PKD, which affected my grandmother, my mother, and my one sibling, my brother. I developed the disease about 10 years ago, and it gradually progressed to the point that I needed either a transplant or I would have to go on dialysis. After seeing my other family members on dialysis years ago and knowing its impact on one's quality of life, I was determined to avoid that option at all costs. So I pursued getting a transplant. For those with kidney diseases like PKD, there are two possible transplant options: a transplant from a living donor or one from a deceased donor after one is put on a wait list. Unfortunately, the waiting time for a deceased donor kidney can be 5 to 10 years after being added to the list. There are almost 100,000 Americans on such lists waiting for a kidney. Besides the benefit of avoiding a long wait and potential dialysis, living organ transplants have a better success rate than deceased organ transplants. So I began spreading the word to my family and friends to see if any would volunteer to become a donor, while also getting waitlisted at various hospitals around the country as a backup plan. Unfortunately, I have a very small family, and initially no friends or relatives were approved to be a suitable donor. Thankfully, Stu became my savior, but as he will tell you, it was not an easy decision for him, and it took some influence from Dr. Ken Cohen, our Stony Brook buddy, who played an instrumental role in the process. Fast forward to December 2014, and the transplant ended up a success, and I'm happy to say we're both in excellent health almost 6 years post-transplant. In addition to Stu, I want to thank the entire transplant team at Yale New Haven Hospital, including my surgeon, Dr. David Mulligan, my nephrologist, Dr. Rich Formica, and our transplant coordinator, Joyce Albert. All have simply been amazing from day one. As a way of paying it forward post-transplant, Stu and I both decided we would seek out opportunities to help others in the transplant community in whatever ways we could, by counseling prospective donors or recipients, or by joining nonprofit organizations in the transplant field. That was the impetus for my joining the board of Donate Life Connecticut, as well as the board of the PKD Foundation, which is dedicated to finding a cure for that horrible disease. But enough about me. The real hero in this story is my dear friend Stu. If not for him, I wouldn't be here today. Let me turn things over to him for his side of the story.
Good evening. My name is Stuart Zeitlin. My connection to Robert Roth goes back to 1973, freshman year of Stony Brook. At that same time, I became good friends with Kenny Cohen. We'll refer to him as Cone. We'll fast forward to the spring of 2014 when Cone, who is now Dr. Cone, he's a cardiologist, invited me to go out for dinner to Ben's. And we had a very nice dinner until dessert, when he put on a serious face and says, you know, Rob's health is really declining. I'm sure you know. He's probably a year away from a transplant. And since I'm both of your doctors, I know you're strong as a horse, and I would suggest you get tested to donate. And my first reaction was, we could have had dessert first before you thrusting this on me. But I absorbed it, and after dinner, I called my wife, and I said, Judy, I said, Dr. Cohen has this proposition for me to donate to Rob. What's your reaction? And her reaction was, you love Rob. He's like a brother to you. Go for it. So the next morning, I said, all right, sign me up, and we began the procedure. The first problem I had is that I have the death fear of giving blood. So it was a tremendous obstacle finding out that I had to give 8 vials of blood, which I referred to as 8 gallons of blood, to see if I was a match. And Dr. Cohen said, well, you know, it's a good thing to do. You're probably not going to be a match. And guess what? I was a match. And I was kind of excited about it. You know, I'm not very religious, but I have a lot of faith. And I felt that if I was going to be doing this, that God would watch me. And when, you know, we were exact match, and Rob hooked up with originally one hospital, we wound up back in Yale. And my transplant coordinator, Joyce Albert, was tremendous from day one. And I joked with her, when I would see a 203 area code, I knew it was another test to make sure I would be a suitable donor, because I was 58 at the time, which is kind of on the cusp of age of donating. And after that, the other tests weren't too bad. I remember my doctor saying to me, Stu, he goes, 20 years I'm in practice, nobody has ever, from my practice, donated. He goes, and I would have assumed you would have been the last person, knowing that I faint giving blood. But we did it, and thank God everything worked out.
And now we're pleased to introduce the debut of a beautiful new song written especially for this event from an incredible award-winning singer-songwriter from Austin, Texas, Betty Sue.
In sleep I forget all that's happened since November. When the sun breaks in, warm across my skin, I remember this January night, slow and gentle, like a river so wide. You can barely see what is happening on the other side.
That was beautiful, wasn't
They,
it?
they were both just amazing. I am blown away by the quality of the music we are hearing tonight. And that's kind of what tonight is all about, too, because we know you're going to love this music, everybody watching. And we know you're going to want to hear this music again after tonight. And good news for you, because all the music you are hearing tonight is going to be put into an album called, wait for it, Organ Music. Yes, we went there. The album is called Organ Music. And here is how you can get that album. With a contribution of $50 or more, you get a digital download. They send you a link, you download the music, and you can have it on your phone, on your computer. Contributions of $100 or more, you get sent a CD in addition to the link for the digital. So you can have it on your computer, on your phone. You have the CD, you can put it in your car. You can say, hey, significant other, you should listen to this in your car because this is just fantastic music. And, you know, we're really just getting started, Sarah.
It's a good deal, Ken. And you and I have been involved with Donate Life Connecticut for many years. And we always like to remind people that currently over 1,200 Connecticut residents are waiting for a life-saving transplant. And every 10 minutes, someone is added to the wait list. So this is an incredibly important topic. And we just want to take a minute for Donate Life Connecticut to thank all the wonderful partners that make the miracle of organ transplants possible. And we want to give a special thank you to the amazing people at Hartford Healthcare. They are truly healthcare heroes. In addition to being incredible partners, Hartford Healthcare is a generous sponsor of tonight's A Matter of Life event. And on behalf of Donate Life Connecticut, we want to heartily thank you.
And we have much more music coming up in just a minute. But the first thing we want to do, because you're hearing, I mean, as great as the music is, as heart-tugging as some of these tunes are, the stories about organ donation are about what tonight is about as well. And sharing her story as an organ donation recipient, please everybody welcome Christina.
Hi, my name's Christina, and I'm a transplant recipient. I was diagnosed with FAP, which is a genetic disease that causes colon cancer. So when I went for a colonoscopy, they found hundreds of precancerous polyps. I had a colectomy. All my large intestines and some of my small intestines were removed. And things were going pretty well. But a little while down the road, I developed a desmoid tumor, which is a tumor that forms on scar tissue. So not common in the general population, but I guess patients with FAP are more likely to get it. So I kept an eye on it. It started to grow, and I was on various medications. They didn't work. So I ended up going on chemo, and I tried 2 different types of chemo. Neither of them worked. By this time, the tumor had grown so large that at my final scan with my doctor, he had given me a couple days to maybe a few weeks to live. My husband looked around for a doctor that specialized in intestinal transplants and desmoid tumors, and he found a wonderful team in New York that were willing to do the surgery. So I had that surgery on September 7th, 2010. They were able to remove the tumor, and with it, my uterus, ovaries, all but 50 centimeters, what was left of my intestines, and part of my bladder had to be reconstructed. So I wasn't on the transplant list immediately. I was in the hospital for 2 months. They had me on IV nutrition, which is called TPN. So I couldn't eat or drink for about 2.5 months due to some other complications. So I was on that, but also with the lack of intestines, once I was able to eat, I wasn't able to gain weight or get any nutrition from food. So I remained on the TPN, and I did okay with that for a while. But I started getting multiple line infections. I didn't have any energy to do much. I was in bed a lot. It took a lot of energy to just get up and go to the bathroom. I couldn't walk down the driveway to get the mail. I had to have a physical therapist come and work with me. I had a visiting nurse come every week as well. So I was surviving but not living. And then I was in the hospital a lot with multiple line infections from sepsis, and my liver started to go into failure from the TPN. So at that point, my doctor put me on the transplant list. And I was on the list for 4 months, and I got the call on late in the evening on October 24th, 2012. And early that morning on the 25th, I ended up having an intestinal transplant. I remember waking up right after shortly after the surgery, and I felt amazing. I was tired, but it was such a turnaround. Usually, the hospital stay at that point for intestinal transplant is 2 months. And at the end of 2 weeks, my doctor was trying to find reasons to keep me in hospital. I was off TPN, I think within a month, and I was able to eat and got nutrition from my food. And without the line, I didn't have sepsis anymore. I wasn't in and out of the hospital. I was able to go down the driveway and get the mail. I am able to take my kids hiking, or we went on a couple family vacations. All these things I wasn't able to do before my transplant. I just didn't have the energy, and I just physically couldn't. So you don't realize how much you take for granted until you don't have it. So I'm very grateful to my donor and his family for donating his organs and saving my life. Every day is a blessing, and it's amazing. So I thank all the donors out there and their families. Thank you. And now I'm pleased to introduce a wonderful novelist and songwriter from Northampton, Massachusetts, performing his new song, "This Note Is Just to Say." Please welcome Pete Nelson.
The song is called "This Note Is Just to Say." I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing you again. Send you season's greetings just to fill you in. It's been another crazy year. That's the hardest part. So many things have happened. I don't know where to start. Our daughter Ruth, the one you met, she got married in July. I walked her down the aisle. We really like the guy. Her sister Jenny is a sophomore, studying organic chemistry. We don't know where she gets her smarts. Surely not from me. Their brother Ben is quite a handful. Guess he takes after his old man. He got drunk and threw up at the county fair. We do the best we can. Annie had a cancer scare. They gave her the all clear. Her book club is reading War and Peace. They hope to finish it next year. I joined the gym in February. I go 3 times a week. I'm still on blood thinners, and I'm watching what I eat. The doctors tell me all is well, and I hope that that is true. They think I should lose 20 pounds. that is nothing new. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'm turning 61, and I have you to thank for another trip around the sun. Thank you for the last 10 years, for the next 10 too. I know I don't have to say it, but if it were not for you, I wouldn't have these memories, would have missed it all. The taste of pears in summer, apples in the fall. It's an old cliche, gift that keeps on giving. If it were not for you, I would not be living. Guess that's all for now, but I really mean it. The gift you gave to me is all I ever needed. So take care, my friend. I will keep you in my prayers, assuming all goes well. I'll write again next year. La 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 la.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Jones. I'm a community outreach coordinator for New England Donor Services, formerly New England Organ Bank, and I'm also a heart transplant recipient. And my story goes back to 2012, just a few years ago, when I was a junior in college at the University of New Haven. I was here at home about to prepare for one of my daily runs, and right as I began to pick up pace, I felt that there was something wrong. The best way to describe it was as if my lungs had turned into sponges and I was working really hard to breathe. And I went and saw my physician the very next day, and I learned that I had a minor heart anomaly. And he referred me to my cardiologist, who informed me that I had, at the time, a viral myocarditis. And I was able to continue living my life the way I wanted to on my terms. I was able to finish school. I graduated college, and I even was very, very adamant about finding my first full-time job, just like any other college student would be doing after they graduate. But as time went on, my symptoms did begin to advance and my condition began to deteriorate. I was in and out of doctor's offices for a few years, and I'm getting more and more medication added to my medication list. And it wasn't until one day where I was admitted to Hartford Hospital and was informed that I needed a heart transplant. And this news was, at the time, it really wasn't a big shocker for me because I'd been living a life where I was very tired all the time. I was depressed, and I wasn't able to keep up with my friends and family. But when I was admitted to Hartford Hospital, I was there for 4 months, and I was there to await a heart transplant. While I was there, I began my own nonprofit to raise awareness for organ, eye, and tissue transplantation. I befriended my nurses, my medical staff, my transplant staff, and I'm still friends with them to this day. But at the end of my 4 months stay, despite the amazing care by the hospital staff and the amazing technology and medicine that was provided to me, my heart continued to fail. And I had it to be implanted with a left ventricular assist device. I lived with this device for a year and 1 month. And during that time, I began to do more work in advocacy for organ, eye, and tissue donation. At the end of year and 1 month, I, just as you would expect, received the phone call saying that I had a second chance at life in the form of a heart transplant. I received my heart transplant on September 21st, 2016. And since then, I've been in contact and even had the amazing opportunity to meet my donor family. I stay in touch with them especially when the holidays come around. And I am here because of my donor family, because of my donor. At one time, my donor said yes, that if he could, he would save a stranger's life. He saved that stranger's life, and that stranger is me. I may not have crossed paths with my donor at any time. I may have, but the point is that we need more people like my donor, Donald. And I'm hoping that everyone seeing this message is encouraged to find out what they have to offer the world. We're all here today. If we woke up today, we have something to offer the world, and we have to really work to find out what it is. So thank you. And now I'm thrilled to introduce an incredible songwriter and Broadway star, winner of the Tony Award for Best Actress in a musical for Next to Normal, the wonderful Alice Ripley.
I never gave a liver. I never gave a liver. But I reached inside and I found this part of me, this part of me, this part of me, this part of me that you can't see. I never thought I'd recover. Thank you.
What an incredible treat to hear a Tony Award winner, Alice Ripley, sing that song. But really, Ken, I have to say I was choked up. I had tears in my eyes that entire segment. What amazing stories from Christina, from AJ, that song from Peter. And, you know, we've all been adapting and pivoting during this difficult time. But this program is so beautiful to be able to see their faces up close as they're sharing these impactful, incredible stories. I'm so enjoying it.
Yeah, you and I are both professional storytellers. It's what we do all day long at News 8. And to hear these folks just telling their own personal stories, whether it's the spoken word or whether they're singing what they're feeling through the songs that we're hearing, it's just fantastic to hear this all. And it's a good reminder too that we're all kind of consumed by the global pandemic that's affecting so much of the world right now, but that hasn't slowed down the medical crisis that is the lack of organ donation, the lack of organ donors out there, because we're still seeing something like, what, 22 people a day dying because they can't get the organ that they need. So that's still going on in addition to the global pandemic that is affecting everybody out there. And I know you're going to be talking about more about that pandemic in just a second, but I wanted to remind people that it really is crucial to encourage everybody to become an organ donor. There just are not enough of them out there, and it is the easiest thing in the world to do. You just check off a little box. You can go to the website that you're seeing every couple of minutes here and find out more about how to do that too. And that's what the money being raised here tonight goes to, is to raise awareness about that and encourage people to donate. And the way you are donating money to get people to donate organs, well, that is through the purchase of the album that we're selling tonight, and that is called Organ Music, of course. These amazing songs that you're hearing, they're all going to be a part of this. And a contribution of $50 or more gets you the digital download of it, so you can listen to it on your phone, on your computer. And contributions of $100 or more, that's where you get the digital download and a physical CD, where you can take it anywhere you're going, hand it off to somebody else, say, hey, you got to listen to this, or, buy a bunch of those, put them under the tree, or give them for Hanukkah this year, because they make a wonderful gift, because we're seeing just how incredible these musicians are tonight, Sarah.
That's a great suggestion. And we just have to note that one person can save and heal up to 75 lives with the gift of organ and tissue donation. It's just amazing. And we've been so inspired by our frontline medical workers during the COVID-19 crisis. So for a special salute to these heroes, we want to welcome Dr. Caroline Rochon and Dr. Anne-Marie Leopakis.
Good evening. My name is Caroline Rochon, and I am the surgical director of the kidney transplant program here at Hartford Hospital. I want to thank you for supporting organ donation. And I want to thank you also for embracing the changes and the challenges that were brought to us by this pandemic, and allowing us to spend this evening with you in the comfort of your home. I also want to take this opportunity to express the most heartfelt thank you from all of us from Donate Life Connecticut to all the healthcare workers in our state. It is thanks to your vocation, dedication, and courage that we look to the future today with hope. When written in Chinese, the word crisis is composed of two characters: danger and opportunity. During this crisis, the healthcare workers in our state have taught us that when faced with danger, many of us will see an opportunity to care for each other and take care of each other. So thank you. You make this world a better place. Thank you for your continued support to organ donation, and continue to raise awareness of all the good it can bring around us. Have a good evening.
Good evening. I'm Anne-Marie Leopakis. I'm one of the co-chairs of Donate Life Connecticut, alongside my colleague, Dr. Shukru Emery. And we would like to thank you for joining us tonight for this first ever Matter of Life virtual Toast to Life event. Thank you for being with us. We would like to say thank you to all healthcare and essential workers on behalf of Donate Life Connecticut. This has been a challenging year, to say the least. The COVID-19 pandemic and health crisis, societal disparity, and civil unrest. As I've noted previously at Donate Life Connecticut events, I truly feel blessed in my profession of medicine and transplantation that I have the privilege to be reminded on a daily basis of the goodness in humanity and our world. I witness grieving family members who are able to transcend their loss and pain, to think of others, and to bring to fruition their loved one's wish to give the gift of life and health to another through donation and transplantation, as well as healthy individuals who put themselves through procedures and surgery which are of no direct benefit to themselves to become live organ donors. I witnessed the strength of my patients who are suffering with end organ disease and the devotion of their family and friends who support them. I have been a witness to perseverance, sacrifice, and love. This year, I have witnessed the same amongst my colleagues, care teams, and health system staff and support. I have seen them act fearlessly and tirelessly in the face of danger and uncertainty. Care was not compromised despite risk to those providing it. Discovery and progress have been made by those leading the science and the development of clinical care algorithms, which have allowed for many lives to be saved. Vanity and materialism forgotten as they work to preserve personal protective equipment and ensure safety. We have felt sad, beautifully sad, as we grieve what we are now reminded is at the heart of our existence: connection, interaction, and touch. We are adaptive and have learned to preserve connectedness despite physical distancing and geographic isolation. We will get through this. We thank those leading the charge. Through this event tonight, we aim to toast life and appreciate its full circle. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to those who are sharing their stories. Thank you to our artists who have provided an interpretation of organ donation and transplantation. Thank you, healthcare and all essential workers on behalf of Donate Life Connecticut, Yale New Haven Health System that I'm a part of, and as Caroline said, Hartford Healthcare System. And now we are pleased to introduce a wonderful composer and songwriter debuting his new song, written especially for this Toast to Life event, Jeremiah Downs.
When the world suddenly stops and your pulse it thickens like glue, there's a clock on the wall to reveal the piece, a piece of you that left you bare, forgot to start, a glitch in the system, an electrical failure, a human malfunction, one simple piece of you, one simple part. When the world suddenly stops and the sirens echo and fade, there's a man down the hall who was brave and giving. He gave it all, a million pieces, a perfect match, a synchronous dispatch, a miracle maybe, a gift from that man down the hall, a gift that was all one simple part. 250 lives born every minute, a patchwork, a tether connects us all in it, in our blood, in our hearts, in our minds, something starts, the connection of each of us, the whole human race, it's right there, ours to share, so we dare to give one simple part. When the world suddenly stops and the sounds they purely implode, your heart sinks and drops, the doctors leave the room and your heart goes boom. It's not despair, it's just a sign, a prayer, just a moment, a calling, a nod in the line. You'll be fine, 'cause there's someone out there and they care, so they share one simple part, one simple part, one simple part.
Hi, I'm Jamie Davies.
Hi, I'm Maurice Davies.
And today we're going to be talking about our daughter, Chelsea Davies. She's actually right behind us. And Chelsea became an organ donor on December 26, 2012, where she succumbed due to bacterial meningitis. We had not known that Chelsea had selected to be an organ donor. And when we were approached, we were, taken aback and really proud of her decision to be an organ donor. So we were more than willing to fulfill her wishes. Chelsea was able to save a life. His name is Patrick Quinn. And today, Patrick is a huge part of our lives.
Yes, it was kind of ironic how we came to meet Patrick, because on the day that Chelsea was actually in the hospital, Patrick was also in the hospital, but on a different floor waiting for an organ. And that we later came to find out about his story. And over the years, it took us a couple of years to really get in contact with him. He sent us a couple of notes, and I would get the notes and kind of hide them from Jamie and kind of feed them to her little at a time, because it was a tough time. And then one day we all finally just met, got together, and he's been a part of our family ever since. It's been, we go up and see him every summer. He comes down here, visit us. I think this is the first summer that we actually haven't been able to go see him because of COVID. But, we stay in regular contact with him. We actually spoke to him the other day, and he's due to get married. He was supposed to get married this month, and that got kind of the kibosh because of COVID. And he's looking to do it next year. So we're actually going to be attending his wedding up in the vineyard. We're really looking forward to that. But he's a big part of our family. We're a big part of his, and it's just a wonderful thing.
It is. We're really proud. We're happy to see that with the donation, of Chelsea's organ, that Patrick has taken the opportunity and he's lived life to the fullest. That's what makes us happy, to see him living to whatever potential he wants to do. He had finished, recently he just finished school, so he's now a therapist. We're really proud about him. We've met his fiance, she's phenomenal. We've met some of his family members, which are really nice to us. And on top of all this, Maurice and I and our children, we do a lot of events for Donate Life, because we feel that this is a way to kind of keep Chelsea with us up in the forefront, living with us the way we need her to be with us in every moment. So whenever we do any activities, it's always with her in our hearts and minds. And that's something that I think she would have been proud of us to do, because she used to do it. We've done community service our whole lives, and we've always included our family. And as an adult, Chelsea decided she wanted to continue to do that. And up until the weekend before she passed, she was doing community service back when Sandy Hook had occurred. So Maurice and I have decided, that we're going to continue to do things in her honor.
Yes.
So, organ donation for us, it means a lot. We've gotten a lot of good support from everyone at Donate Life. We have made friends. We have met many, many people. I feel a part of the Donate Life family. And I feel that I can pick up the phone and speak to any of them, and they would be there for me emotionally at any time that I can. Out of something so sad, we have developed a new family on top of that. And we're really happy for that. And I want to thank everyone at Donate Life for always thinking of us donor families, and always including donor families in everything that you do. And now we're pleased to introduce a brilliant, prolific songwriter performing his new song, A Part of Me. Please welcome Dan Byrne.
I never knew you, I never threw you a ball, I never said here's the deal, I never cooked you a meal, whispered secrets with you, cried with you on the phone, consoled you when you're alone, read your expression or tone, but we're together alive in the same time and place. on this great spinning wheel, on this rock out in space. That's what you are, and forever will be a part of me. That's what you are, a ray of light, a shining star, your casual smile, your laughter too. A part of me will always be a part of you. Take these words, fly like the birds, let the sun warm your face. Let's raise a glass, let's make a toast to all those who we love the most. The list is long or short in strange and funny ways, yet all our names are written in the book of days. But it's the little things that we hold most dear. I'll push your wagon and you can steer. And don't forget, you'll always be a part of me. That's what you are, a ray of light, a shining star, your casual smile, your laughter too. A part of me will always be a part of you.
A beautiful number there by Dan Byrne, and before that, a beautiful story, and that terrific Jeremiah Downs song. That's like Broadway quality, what he was giving us here tonight. But I want to bring people back a couple segments ago where we had Peter Nelson. He was the guy who had the goatee, sort of looked like a just slightly older version of me. He was singing that great song about, it sounded like the note you put in your holiday card. Then it turns out that he's thanking his organ donor for letting him have all those experiences in the year. He's obviously a very talented and inventive songwriter. He is offering to write a song for the first person who donates $1,000 tonight. That guy who wrote that great song, he will write a great song about you if you donate $1,000. The first person to donate tonight $1,000, you get a Pete Nelson song. I mean, that's fantastic. What a generous offer.
It's so amazing, Ken. I have to give a big shout out to Chelsea's parents. What incredibly brave people right there. You and I have done the stories with the families, and we know that when something tragic happens, it does help the families to feel that some good is being done out of it. So bravo to everyone for sharing these stories. And that is an amazing offer from Pete. And we also do want to mention that the iPhone has a health app where you can go on and register to become an organ donor. You actually don't need to wait for your next visit to the DMV. All right, we want to take another moment here to give a shout out to Yale New Haven Hospital, amazing place. Not only is Yale New Haven a wonderful partner of Donate Life Connecticut in advancing so many of our powerful organ donation stories, but their sponsorship help has helped make this Matter of Life event and the Organ Music CD possible. So from the very bottom of our hearts, we want to say thank you.
And the folks who run Donate Life, and you, Sarah, you guys know that I'm not exactly the technology whiz, so I had no idea about the iPhone thing. So thank you for letting me know, because I had no idea. I'm still going to the DMV in person signing up for things. All right, well, here's what I do know, though, is that all the great music we're hearing tonight, it's being collected into an album, all 8 songs. It's called Organ Music, and you can get a copy of it. It's really easy to get a copy of it. We're encouraging you to get a copy of it. You don't even have to write down any information right now, because the information will be available at the end of this. Enjoy the show. Keep chatting all those great comments down at the bottom, too. But if you want to get a copy of it, sorry, I dragged that out too long. $50 gets you a digital download of the album. $100 gets you that, plus a CD, an actual physical CD of the album we are calling Organ Music.
It's a great deal for a great cause. And we do want to encourage you to keep using that chat room feature. Give Kent and I some story suggestions, some wardrobe suggestions, whatever you'd like. We'll listen to your chatter and we encourage it. All right, now we have an inspiring story of a mother-daughter organ donation. Please welcome Dana and Charlotte.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dana. This is
Charlotte.
Everybody calls her
Cha-cha.
Cha-cha. And we are a transplant family. Charlotte received a liver transplant when she was 9 months old. I was her living donor. And actually, we were just realizing she had her transplant when she was 9 months old. And now she's 9 years old. Charlotte was born with a very rare genetic disease called maple syrup urine disease. And there's no cure for it, right?
Yeah.
The only treatment is a liver transplant. So when Charlotte was 9 months old, we worked with the team at Yale New Haven Hospital, and they've taken amazing care of us ever since. Being a living donor it was a no-brainer in terms of an option as a parent. It's a big surgery, but I came out on the other side doing amazingly well, and have really took about a few months for me to feel like I was myself again. And Charlotte bounced back incredibly well. She was in the hospital for 8 days, and I was in the hospital for 7. So ever since then, we try to do as many things we can for our community. We've worked with other families that have the same disease that Charlotte was born with, and many of them have had parental donors and other living donors that have contributed. And many of these children that have this disease have received successful transplants all over the country, right? We keep in touch with them all over the country and all over the world. So forever grateful to both the MSUD community and also to the transplant community. So Charlotte, we were talking earlier, what are your 3 favorite things to do, right? Charlotte has a pretty normal life, right? What grade are you in? 4th grade. Very busy. What are 3 of your favorite things to do?
I like cooking, playing with my sisters, and swimming.
Yeah, so Charlotte has 2 sisters. She's the middle. She's an older sister and a younger sister. Lots of swimming, especially this summer, right? And lots of cooking. I like to cook too, so that's something that we often do together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we hope that on this Toast to Life celebration, this virtual Toast to Life celebration, that you can listen to this amazing music and donate to Donate Life Connecticut and help us continue to launch initiatives to help the transplant community, to help patients, to help donors. We want everyone to become an organ donor, right? Really easy to do. You can figure out how to do that on the Donate Life Connecticut website. And that's my sales pitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Anything else we want to tell everybody? Want to tell everybody about the music that's coming up? Right? We should do that. Right? So next up, we are pleased to introduce a critically acclaimed songwriter, best known for songs like
I Kissed a Girl,
I Kissed a Girl, and Supermodel. Please welcome the wonderful Jill Sobule.
Here goes. If you've been an asshole for most of your life, and no one really likes you, not even your wife, well, you could be an angel and turn it all around. Donate an organ when you're dead, or you could do it now. Grandma gave a cornea so someone else could see. Nina gave her lungs so someone else could breathe. And Anna gave a kidney to a kid in need. I know deep down you got it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. If you trip and fall off the waterfall, or decide you've lived long enough and you hit the wall, before you take that final breath or take that little pill, be sure to sign my document or put it in your will. Oh, Grandma gave her cornea so someone else could see. Someone gave her lungs, now someone else can breathe. And Anna gave a kidney to a kid in need. I know deep down you got a heart, so give it to me. I know deep down you got a heart. Give it to me. Give it to me.
When I turned 49 years old, I decided I wanted to do something really meaningful and impactful to celebrate my 50th birthday in the coming year. You know, I had already done things that were meaningful to me. I had just traveled to the Ukraine. I had just bought tickets to go to Cambodia, but those were things for me. And I said, I want to do something impactful for the world. I want to do something impactful for somebody else. And I remembered a friend of mine, a colleague, a rabbi who a few years earlier had seen online about someone who needed a kidney and decided to see whether he could be a match for that person. As it turned out, he wasn't a match, but he was so taken by the idea of donating one of his kidneys to save someone's life that he stuck with the process, and they found a match for him. And he ended up donating a kidney to save the life of a neurosurgeon. And I was so moved by his level of generosity that night after my 49th birthday, I said, I want to do something like that. I went online to research what kind of organ can you donate as a living person? Can you donate something other than your kidney? And I was amazed to find out that you could donate your liver. I had no idea. You only have one liver. I didn't know how that was possible. And what I learned is you could donate part of your liver, and the part of your liver that you give someone grows into a full-size liver. Your liver you have remaining grows back into a full-size liver as well. I thought, that's amazing. I don't know anyone who's ever done that before. I want to do that. And even more so, my mother had passed away about 10 years earlier from what was eventually liver cancer. And I thought I'd never done anything monumental to honor my mother's memory. And so that night, I very spontaneously and decisively made a decision. I'm going to give somebody a piece of my liver. A couple months later, I had started a process at Yale New Haven Hospital of all of the physical and psychological examinations and interviews that you need to go through the process. They approved me to be a donor in May with one problem. They didn't have a match for me because I don't have a common blood type. And so I decided to wait and wait. And over a year later, I decided to start reaching out to other hospitals until April of 2019, when I connected with the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, and they said, David, we have a match for you. It was just a few months later, on July 5th, 2019, that I went into the hospital for one of the most extraordinary days of my life, knowing that I would be giving my liver to someone, not knowing who, and knowing that I would possibly never get the chance to meet that person, and being okay with that. I had my surgery. It was successful. They told me my liver started working in my recipient right away. And I still didn't know whether I'd get to meet that person until a few days later when they came into my room and they said, David, do you want to meet your recipient? Even recovering from surgery, I almost jumped out of bed, walking down the hall, knowing that I wanted to meet that person and that I didn't want to know what they were dying from. I didn't want to know why they needed my liver. I only wanted to know what they were living for, what they had to live for. I walked into that hospital room to meet a sweet, lovely man from the Pittsburgh area named Joe. And I'm happy to introduce you today to my friend Joe. Joe, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Joe, it was so special to get to meet you in the hospital. I remember the moment very well, and I remember it because when I came in to meet you and I asked you, what are you going to do now that you have this new liver? You said, David, I don't want to disappoint you. You know, I don't want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I don't have a big bucket list. All I want to do is be around for my children and my grandchildren. And I'm so happy that I've given you the opportunity to do that. And Joe, tell me what your life is like now.
It's almost like I never had an operation. It's almost like I never had a problem. I did have a problem, and it took a couple of years to realize that I was going to need a transplant. I thought nothing of it because, yeah, sure, they say I need a transplant, but I don't believe them. Well, slowly I went through the process, and they finally put me on a transplant list, and the phone call came. And that was the moment that I realized that this is for real. And I should have been scared. I should have been afraid, but I wasn't. I had such faith in the UPMC doctors that I wasn't scared at all. When I went into the operating room, I told my wife, I said, you know, I'll see you in a little bit. I'll be right back. And
so Joe, I want to tell you that while you may not have had a bucket list, while you may not have wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, you helped me climb my Mount Kilimanjaro. You may thank me for giving you a piece of my liver. I thank you for taking it, and I thank you for being connected this way. And I'm so grateful that you have the opportunity to live a wonderful life now. So thank you so much for being connected to me this way.
No, thank you.
I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to put together tonight's program, and so thankful for all of my musical friends who contributed their amazing talents and such wonderful songs to this evening. And now for our closing song, the title song of our program, A Matter of Life. I'm pleased to introduce my good friend, a wonderful songwriter and performer and producer of acts from Tiny Tim all the way to Lou Reed. Please welcome Richard Byrne.
Hey everybody, I'm Richard Byrne. Hope you're having a great night, and thank you, David, for inviting me to be part of this program. I was very moved by your experience as a living organ donor and very inspired to write a song, which I'd like to play for you now. It's called A Matter of Life, and I hope you enjoy it. Hope you have a great night, everybody, and take care.
What can we do for each other? What can we give of ourselves? Seems to me that life is something we can give. It seems to me that it's yours to live. What can we ask of each other? What do we wish for ourselves? It seems to me that always sacrifice comes back. It seems to me that we're learning that it's a matter of life. I'm here for you. It's a matter of life. I'm here for you. I'm here. The best we can do for each other is the best we can do for ourselves. It seems to me that we're all connected through and through. It seems to me that this much is true. It's a matter of life. I'm here for you. It's a matter of life. I'm here for you. I'm here. How does it feel to lie waiting?
What an incredible way to wrap up this night. So inspiring, so amazing, those stories and songs. Just loved it, Kent. And we want to thank everyone who has donated so far to this incredibly important cause. And it's not too late, right, Kent?
Yeah, because we still have that offer out there. One of our amazing songwriters tonight offering to write a song for the first person to donate $1,000 tonight. So that's still out there. What a great present that would be. Imagine somebody receiving it. Hey, I bought this song for you. No, really, it's for you. It's written about you. With that last number by Richard Byrne, I feel like it's the moment in the movie where somebody finally says the name of the movie in the dialogue. Now I know why it's called A Matter of Life, the whole show tonight. It's not just a toast to life, which is what we do every year. It's a matter of life because of that amazing song. And that amazing song and all the other great songs that we have heard tonight, all different genres, all different kinds. You know, a couple of them were a little tongue-in-cheek. A couple of them just made you want to weep. Well, they're all available on an album we are calling Organ Music. A digital download is available for a contribution of $50 or more. For $100 or more, if you contribute that much, you get the digital download and a physical CD. You donate more, you know, every $100 gets you another CD. You can go buy them, give them to your friends. You've heard the amazing music tonight. They'll make a great gift. And I mean, just enjoy it yourself, because I've certainly enjoyed every minute of tonight.
It's so unique, and it's going to be such a great album to listen to. And Kent, I enjoyed spending time with you. I miss seeing you in the studio, but we get to see each other here tonight virtually, and we'll see each other on TV coming up.
Was just as good, I think. Yeah, it was even, I mean, we got to do more this way than we would in person, I think. We would never have gotten all those people together in one place. This was a great concert we had tonight. So hope everybody enjoyed it. DonateLifeCT.org. A toast to life, everybody.
Thanks so much for joining us. Take very good care.
What can we do for each other? What can we give of ourselves? Seems to me that life is something we can give. It seems to me that it's yours to live. What can we ask of each other? What do we wish for ourselves? It seems to me that always sacrifice comes back. It seems to me that we're learning that it's a matter of life. I'm here for you. It's a matter of life. I'm here for you. I'm here. The best we can do for each other.